The one thing about a recession, if there is such a thing as a silver lining, and it's pretty hard to think about a silver lining in a recession, is that everyone is doing more with less. And as you know, this committee, our committee, has pushed shared services for some time. And the one benefit of a recession is that now we're forcing efficiencies on local government just as we are on private businesses. And I know I preach to my guys all the time that you just have to do more with less, and that's certainly what's coming. But this is the 11th recession that I've lived through in my lifetime. Now, I don't remember the 40s and 50s all that clearly, but in the 60s and on, after I entered the workforce, I remember them quite well. And some have been mild, some have been long, some have really stretched on, but the one thing that they all have in common is that they ended. And it's important for us to continue to do the things during the recession that we normally do when we're not in recession. And the county has been a tremendous example of that. Medical Main Street, for example, that started this last year, is really an example of what it takes to continue to stay in the game and continue to play and be ready for when we turn the corner. And some areas the corner is already turning. We're going to probably be the last to feel it. But the one recommendation that our committee made this year is a complaint that we've heard often, but we haven't heard it a lot lately, and that is from developers and companies talking about site plan review process. Right now, I think Doug probably can tell me, there's probably 4 site plans being reviewed in the whole county. But during normal times, this has been the biggest hurdle that we've had when it comes to satisfying developers and companies that are coming. Macomb County created a pilot program called SPARK, which is Site Plan Assistance Review Collaborative. Obviously, they started with the acronym before they named the but the objective is to simplify and streamline the site plan review process to make it not so cumbersome and wieldy, and not take so much time, and certainly not to cost so much money, because we scare a lot of businesses, a lot of developers away when they see the process that they have to go through. And sometimes it's better to be able to come to a quick no than it is to drag on for 6 months and find out that you can't do a project. So they've created this SPARK program, and our recommendation to Oakland County is, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's go partner with Macomb County and join the SPARK program. So that's our major recommendation. I have two quick updates. One is on the Growth Capital Task Force. As you recall, this is the task force that had three kind of three-leg stools, similar to what Dick was talking about. But first was ISOM, which Ken Rogers' group out at Automation Alley is running for entrepreneurs. The second piece was the venture capital fund that is now some $50 million and has made its first few loans. And I understand that they're hoping to go out to the marketplace 2010, 2011 and start raising the next $50 million. The third leg of that was that we wanted to be able to match clients, resources, and people, and we wanted to be able to do it on the internet. And you know, we looked at LinkedIn, we looked at Facebook, we looked at a lot of different systems. There wasn't one that really fit. But the county is linked up with Michigan Small Business Technology and Development Center, and they have written the specification for a system, and it looks like this is going to be written and in operation in 2010, and hopefully Oakland County will be the test community that this goes through. Second update is on Center for Michigan. As you know, we recommended that we stay in close touch with the Center for Michigan. And they have been holding community conversations around the state, 175 to date, with 6,000 attendees. Oakland Schools is one of the members on the Economic Development Committee, and they hosted four of those community conversations. And hopefully, as we go through this next year, we're going to see some results from that. One last thing. Last August, Don Kegley had completed building a building for Joe Welch, ITC, which we just heard about. And Don was so impressed with this company, he felt that we really deserved as a committee to go over and go through this facility and see what was going on right under our doorstep. It's in Novi, just off of M5 and 12 mile. This facility currently manages the long-distance power transmission for 2 states, and it's absolutely an incredible facility. I wish everyone here could go through it. It's a little bit like going to NASA. It is just absolutely an extremely high-tech facility, and based on the power outages that we've experienced in the past, it's very interesting to see the intricacy that goes into managing power across a long distance. Now, I think they currently are managed in that facility 2 states, but I think the company manages many other states and are adding more. Joe, in talking to him about the company, challenged us because much of the components that go into long-range power are not made in the United States, and the lead time to order new parts and new pieces can be as long as 18 months, 2 years. Now, I lived through a power outage a couple of years ago, 4 days, and I felt I was in the Stone Age by about the 3rd day. Can imagine being out of power for an extended period of time. So we've put together a subcommittee, a task force that's looking at working with DTE, Consumers Power, ITC, to put together a program to become a Center for Technological Development, Manufacturing, related to long-distance power transmission management and security. That facility is built to Homeland Security standards. It's probably the highest tech facility in the country today. But much of our transmission system is not protected from natural disasters or mandated disasters, as we're hearing in Washington, which is what terrorism is called today. We need to pay attention to this, and this is something that we have a strength. It's right here in our own community, and Doug will tell you that any economic development always plays from its strengths. It's something we just have to do, and I think you'll hear more from this committee on that next year. And that's the end of my report. Thanks so much.